Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to color Kabaya Star Convoy. This is Star Convoy in the Kabaya kit style, and he is really tiny. He's not a very big truck. I do like it though, a lot. I love how small this thing is. It's very neat how so much detail is sculpted, but yet so much that's not actually sculpted. You can see there's a lot of sculpting there on that truck cab. And the original toy actually had this gap between it too, so those people that want to fault this for what it is, no, this is actually pretty true to the original full-size one. I used to have a full-size one in the past, yeah, it's pretty neat. It has a lot of decals that you have to put on him when you build these kits. It's got decal that runs all the way across here. A lot of this right here are just decals. And I did a little bit of additional paint work. I painted the two guns on top there to kind of give him his guns. So they actually stick out better than just the flat red plastic. But yeah, he looks the part. He really does. He does have like decals here for the treads. I got one decal here that's been trying to come up. Might have to glue that back down again, but that's okay. But he's got the little treads there, which go all the way around, which is cool. Not really necessary, but hey, it's there. And it's got that nice grill there in the front, which some people would be more prone to paint some of this stuff. He does have like his indicator lights there, even on the bumper. And a lot of detail there for the windshield as well, picked out with decals. It does have a gun here on top, which is, you know, turns 360. It's storage for the gun, but you can always take it off. So we're going to go ahead and pull it off for now. And it's got a lot of molded detail there on top. And here's the bottom of it. And he doesn't really have any kind of robot sticking out stuff here, really. I mean, it's a very, very nice tucked in package. All the little wheels here do not roll. There's no rolling wheels on us, so they're all little decals. So those people out there that want to get into these, sometimes if you want to do extra paint work, you can. Personally, I try to keep this thing about as toy-atic as I can keep it, but it also have a bit of you know, additional styling to it with a little bit of the paint that I did to it. He does have a very cool transformation. He actually does the 3 modes as well too, which is really cool. First off, let's go ahead and put him in his robot mode, and then we'll do the base mode, because the base mode is it is what Star Convoy is. And if those people don't know what Star Convoy is, he's out of Battle Stars. This is what happens to the last iteration of Optimus Prime in Generation 1. So this is his final form. And if you guys are looking for the original ones are a lot more expensive. There was a reissue in the early 2000s that they did that was pretty cool. That's personally the one I had, was the reissue. It was spot on to the original. I've handled the original as well. The only difference really between the two, if you guys really want to get into Star Convoy, is the fact that all this silver here was white on the original. That's literally the only difference between the original and the reissue. The reissue was this kind of a silver colored stuff. And I'm talking the original full scale one, not the Kabaya kit. But yeah, I've always loved Star Convoy. He just didn't have room on my shelves anymore, and back when I had to purge a lot of my G1, I did get rid of him. But I'm happy to have this, because this was gifted to me from a friend of mine. This is pretty much a grail piece for me because I love the tiny Transformers and the fact I have a tiny Star Convoy. These things are getting harder to get out there, so you can find them, but they're usually mixed in with a bunch of other stuff that sometimes people don't necessarily want. I'm pretty picky on what I'm getting now, so very happy to have this guy. And although I didn't get a chance to actually build the kit, that's okay. I'm glad somebody else actually had the joy of building it. So anyway, enough of rambling. Let's go ahead and put him in his robot mode, which is really simple. You just spin this piece here around and stand him up. And then you'll take the cab portion here and split it in half. And then put both arms down. Move both the arms completely out and straighten them out. And then you'll flip down the chest piece. And then flip up this head portion. And then close the chest piece. And then there you go. There is Star Convoy and his robot mode, which is really cool. I do like him a lot, and to kind of give you guys a bit of a size comparison of how small this guy really is, here is one of the reflector bots next to him. And if you guys have seen my previous review of my Super Megatron, he is literally spot on size for Super Megatron. Very head to head, he fits in with my core class custom one I built. Perfect. Sorry, but that's perfection to me. I love it. I love the small stuff. It just tends to be easier for me to play with too, and store, and be able to display, because that's one of the biggest issues that I've ran across in my entire collection, toy collecting life, is display options. Now, probably wondering what his articulation is. He pretty much has what the G1 did. That's it. Head does not rotate. Now these do move, but you have to pull this portion here off. So we're going to go ahead and take this off, because this is primarily for base mode. You can, if you want to, leave this pegged in and move it all the way up to the top, which kind of gives him a bit of a backpack, which is kind of crazy, and then you can splay the legs out. And this is okay. I'm not a big fan of doing it like that. You can take that completely off, and then you'll have his waist rotation. And his waist rotation, even with this on, doesn't get hammered because it's part of the transformation gimmick. But you know, it gives him that kind of A stance type of thing. I myself still like the Toyetic G1 look, where I don't have to deal with that, so it's just all plugged in together, just like, you know, I mean, you can even plug it in upside down there in the back if you wanted to. It's kind of cool what this thing's got, because it's got a porthole here and here for this back piece. Now, this back piece looks a lot like Roller. And the reason it looks like Roller is because this actually, in the original one, was motorized. You had batteries in it and it would actually roll along, and if you had this on robot mode on the back of him, you could engage it and the treads on the back would actually move him forward just like this, and you click it the other way and it would roll backward. That's all it would do, is roll forward or backward. The other cool thing about Star Convoy is he actually plugged into Grandis, and if you guys don't know who Grandis is, look it up. He actually could pull Grandis, or if you actually wanted him to, he wait, no, never mind. I was just thinking that Grandis will actually plug into Metroplex like this guy does. It's kind of cool. Anyway, I'll talk a little bit more about Grandis here in a minute. What you'll do to put him into his base mode, because it is a base, you'll turn, I normally just take his arms and put them pretty much up like this, to kind of just give it a couple towers, and then you'll turn his waist sideways and then bend him at the waist. I'm going to sit him down here for a second, because this part here has got a bit of a transformation itself. You'll flip this portion here up and this portion here down. Then we come in here and plug in this gun. The original one had a different kind of gun, but I'll explain that here in a minute. And then this right here will actually plug directly, because it's got a post here, will actually plug directly into the side. And then you can grab the chest piece here and open it up. And then as for his legs actually open as well. They open sideways just like this. And this right here was all for the MicroMaster gimmick. Trying to get him all squared out here. This part here likes to pop off sometimes. But anyway, you got him in his full base mode now. Now the original one, when you had this motorized thing here, you'd be able to click it and the wheels would actually roll, and you could put a MicroMaster, drop the MicroMaster from this ramp down to it, and then the rolling thing would actually roll it down, and then it would hit this and then continue rolling down. That's what the MicroMasters would do. Well, speaking of MicroMasters though, it comes with this extremely tiny hot rod. I haven't gotten around to actually trying to paint this thing yet. I probably will in the future, but he is like the smallest hot rod ever. If you sneeze, this thing's gonna fly away. That's why I tend to just keep him in the chest of Prime. He does have a little hole on the bottom, so you can plug him directly into one of the little storage parts here on the legs, so you can actually plug him in here. And if you have the rest of the Kabaya kits, there's a couple other Kabaya kits that come with tiny little cars like this. They're all that standard size hole, so you can actually play with these with the other Kabaya kits that have the tiny robots, or the tiny little MicroMaster guys. So you can actually kind of mix and match and put the little hot rod dudes with all of them. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the base mode, and the original toy was the same way. It actually had this same crazy transformation. I just love the fact of how small this is. This is not a mode that I normally will put him in, but it's kind of funny. And the fact that more of your standard size robots, I'm going to bring in my little converter camera bot too, kind of shows you how big he really is. I mean, he's got a pretty good sized little base mode actually for, you know, what he does. I'm extremely impressed with this. And the fact that Star Convoy is being released as a Titan, which is cool, it's great that he's going to be able to do this kind of mode too, because I mean, honestly, the mode kind of almost felt like an afterthought. And I'm not against an afterthought mode. I've done this a lot with a lot of my Transformers because I've always been into alternative modes. But, you know, Star Convoy here, he's definitely a get if you can get hold of this little tiny Kabaya kit. I know these things are banking on 11 years old now at this point, and it's getting really harder to find these, but they're still amazing little toys. They hold up very well. Sometimes the stickers aren't the best, but you can always sort out stickers by gluing them down, or even just not using stickers and just paint work. But anyway, this has been Plasticon. This has been yet another crazy review and a cool look at an awesome little tiny Kabaya kit. And I'll see you guys around because I have plenty more coming your way. That's it for now. Bye. One more thing I almost forgot to talk about. It's got a hole here on the side right. You can actually plug this portion here on when you have him in robot mode as a shield. So you can use this as a shield. And what's cool is it's got these standardized color or standardized pegs. You can turn it around this way too if you wanted to. So there's different options that you have, especially for these kind of kits. Really neat, and I really suggest you guys go out and go buy one. They're amazing. See y'all.